Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to be talking about like FSR and DLSS and all that fun stuff while you watch me play one of my favorite little Ubisoft games. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. But I wanted to play video games today because that's what I want to do all the time. So yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about DLSS versus FSR and kind of ask you guys for a little bit of feedback. I've always kind of imagined like the PC Master Race kind of guys being like, dude, we don't want that garbage. We want, power, rasterized power, stuff like that. And like we gotta realize, man, that like DLSS and stuff only came out with like the 20 series NVIDIA GPUs, and then all of a sudden they're like, and now all of a sudden it's like this. It's like this big thing. Like everybody's talking about it. Everybody's hyping it up. All the channels are like, yeah, man, DLSS this and DLSS that. And I don't think that like gamers have actually gotten a chance to really. All right, let's do this. We got to switch into first person view. All right, we're gonna attempt to downhill this right here. Boop boop. Oh boy. I mean, this is very, very unrealistic, but I mean, there's a reason why we're doing this game right here too. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at this. Oh goodness. Ooh, man, one little slip up, man, and you would be toast. I mean, you might be able to ride this. Oh yeah, dude. Oh no, we're getting too much air. Oh no, we'd probably be all right. We'd probably survive that. Ooh, man, I haven't been downhill bike riding in a very long time. It's been well over 10 years. Probably like 13, almost 14 years since I've been on a bike doing downhill. Oh, so when this game came out, I was this and Descenders, man. Like I was just like, oh my gosh, dude, finally a video game that I can do that. Actually, there was one before that, GTA 5. I'd get on there, I'd take a little lift up there and get on one of those bikes and start downhilling and stuff. But this is significantly better than that. Like this is a much better experience. I mean, it's like weird and wonky, but it's fun, man. Like this game is fun, and I don't think I gave it enough credit when it first came out. But now that I come back here and like I'm on the 7800 XT right now, I'm rocking this at 4K with max settings. That yeah. And to see, like, I like to do that. Like, I like to max out my settings and look at the game. But this game here still looks pretty dang nice at like, gosh dang it. It still looks pretty nice at like 1440p at like medium settings, stuff like that. But I wanted you guys to sit here and take a look at this. So on a 1440p monitor, this looks super dense. Like the ground looks dense. The rock face over there looks really, really dense. The rider, the bike, everything just looks really dense. There's no FSR support or DLSS in Riders Republic. So everything you're seeing is native, rasterized, 100% visuals that are coming from this game that are made by an artist, placed in here, all the lighting, all the effects. There's no ray tracing, there's none of that. It's just you, your beautiful game, your GPU, and the amazingness that Ubisoft creates every time. They build these incredible games with these giant, incredible maps that have plenty of detail in them. They look incredible. And to me, right there, this GPU is perfect for me. And I mean, it's kind of like a natural progression for me, to be completely honest with you. Like, I love Ubisoft games. I love playing them. I buy every single one of them. I buy them usually the day they come out. I usually pay the $100 for the $100 version of my Ubisoft games, and I love them. And I love that they're on PC and I can play them and I can get them. And if I really need to, I can sign up for Ubisoft Plus. Ubisoft has actually got a new thing out. They're doing like the classics catalog for PC. It's a little bit cheaper, like $7.99 or whatever. No, this isn't like a Ubisoft shill video. I promise you, it's an AMD shill video. I think that we've kind of got off on the wrong foot when it comes to my PC content. I'm not gonna submit and give in and just be like, yeah, just start following the talking points, because I think the talking points are being changed on the PC Master Race. I don't think that things that used to matter before DLSS, I know they still matter to like most of the PC crowd. But I think it's just been so loud and so strong and so forced and crammed down your throat through all of the people on the internet that like DLSS is the way, and AI upscaling and all of this stuff is the way. And an easy way for them to push that on you is because of ray tracing. You know, you're making sacrifices to visual quality to get ray tracing that's supposed to intensify visual quality. I'm a graphics whore. Like, there's no ands, ifs, or buts about that. Like, I'm a graphics whore. I look at things, and I sit here, and I analyze images, and I look really closely at things. And even... And so I notice stuff. Like, I notice that extra fine detail. I see when something is different. And, you know, a lot of people will scream up and down that like DLSS is better and superior and stuff. And there's no doubt that it makes your image look pristine. Like there's no doubt. Like it sharpens off the edges. It makes everything look good. But if you take a look at this right now with no upscaling or any of that stuff, the way that like the way that the image kind of the quality of the image, you know, just on my writer right here, the way like the shoulders look softer, there's no like hard cutoff lines, you know, like when you look out here in the vegetation and everything else, like it just has that dense, smooth look to it, whereas DLSS would make everything just look sharp and crisp. And like, I'm not saying that looks bad. In my eyes, I like the way this looks significantly better than what DLSS looks like. Take, for instance, my good buddy Doc Dark. Just got himself a 4070 laptop. Congratulations, my friend. Welcome to the hamster wheel. It's a long, daunting ride. I started with an NVIDIA laptop myself. And here I am on the AMD platform, and I think that you'll find your way. I think that you'll find yourself here pretty soon as well. There's just something about it. So, like you were saying in your other video the other night, you were playing like some Halo. You were sitting there, and then you found yourself just wanting to go back to your Xbox. Well, that was me all the way through the MX350, the 4050 or the 3050 Ti laptop, the 3060 Ti, and the 3080 GPU that I had. I found myself being more comfortable playing on the Xbox. I was just like, gosh, dude, I know I got a powerful PC. Like, I know that my 3080 is better. But gosh, I just want to play on the Xbox because I like the image quality better. Yes. The AMD platform gives you the Xbox quality visuals that you want, that you're used to seeing, and it makes it and it makes it better in a way that you're like, okay, like and it's stackable, like it's seeable. You can go from your Xbox straight over to your AMD PC, and you can see like the visuals just get better from what you were looking at on your Xbox. They start to look better on your PC, and like you can see that, and it's measurable in your mind, in your eyes, in your sight, all of that stuff. You'll be able to notice the difference a lot more because you're used to that. Now, if you were a PlayStation fan and like PlayStation was your like, oh my gosh, this is my everything, you're gonna see more of a natural progression towards NVIDIA. I think anyways, because PlayStation has that sharpening effect on their games to make it look more crisp on a 4K screen, and it does. Like if you look at PlayStation 5 versus Xbox Series X, the same game on a 4K screen, you'll see it. Like you'll see that the PlayStation version looks a little more crisp, the Xbox version looks a little more soft, and that's just the way it is, man. That's just the way it is, and that's okay. It's like system level sharpening for PlayStation 5 versus not having like system level sharpening on the Xbox. So that's why you hear a lot of people being like, "Oh, it looks better on the PlayStation." Me, I don't really care much for that over sharpened look. To me, it doesn't look natural, and I like that more natural look, like we're seeing right here on Riders Republic. You can see that like more natural look to everything, and it just, in my mind, it looks better. I feel like it blends better. I feel like it's sharp when it needs to be sharp, and it's not sharp when it doesn't need to be sharp. So that to me is beautiful. Like I look at this and I'm like, gosh, that is beautiful. When you get in the forest on this game, let's see if I can just teleport back over to somewhere. Let's see, just get up here and then we will teleport back over to where... Oh, come on, man. I don't care about that stuff. But, alright, we got some trees over here. Let me get out of here. Let me get away from these little people. This is like the skateboarder park or something. Yeah, there we go. We got our back. So now that we're back over here where like some of these trees and stuff are, like you just look at this and gosh dang. Like I don't think this part right here looks as good as where I was at, but it still looks pretty nice. Like when you first load into the game, that area there with all the trees and stuff, that looks so incredible. And you get out here and you just start playing. Like I love the way this looks, man. And it is. It's kind of like a natural progression for me to go from being a Ubisoft fan to loving the way that Ubisoft visuals look to pretty much just going to AMD. A lot of their games are pretty optimized for AMD. They have like the things, so that just kind of makes sense for me to be more leaning toward AMD because I feel like I get that overall just better experience on the AMD platform for that. And I mean, like, dude, I love tech just as much as anybody else, but I do kind of just have a problem with like stuff being overhyped and shoved down your throat and stuff like that. Whereas I kind of feel like AMD is still, you know, everybody says they're in the past, and maybe that's a good thing. Because yeah, AMD obviously clearly has the tech and the capabilities to utilize AI, and they could easily put out an AI upscaler that would just as soon do the same thing as what Nvidia is doing. But I'm kind of glad. Like FSR to me doesn't take away from my visual quality. It just gives me a little bit more. Like it upscales it, and I don't feel like I lose visual quality the same way I do with DLSS. DLSS over sharpens things where FSR kind of makes things, you know, still kind of retain that softer look, that softer image look. And I like that more. I mean, you guys can call me crazy all you want, but I like that softer. Like, look at this. Look at this game and tell me that this would look good, sharp and crispy. I've always thought that looks more gamey. And, you know, some of the games that I really like to play, like my WRC generations, my WRC 10, all of those games on Nvidia, it over sharpens that, so the vegetation and everything look more fake than it already does. I mean, it looks fairly fake on that game. I mean, but it over sharpens it to a point where it looks even more fake. It looks gamey, and I don't necessarily care for that look, man. But when I look at this right here and I see like that softer look, and it just looks more natural in my eyes. This looks more natural. You know, when you're just zooming right through here and having a little bit of fun and seeing like all the trees and everything else. Like this looks good. In my eyes, it doesn't look all sharp or crispy or anything like that. It just looks natural, and that's what FSR does for me. And I don't necessarily use it that often, to be completely honest with you. I think I utilize FSR more often on this 7800 XT than I ever did on the 7900 XT. I don't use FSR on the 7900 XT unless I'm insisting on playing one of my open world games at 4K. I don't use it. I don't need to use it. On this card right here, I would say it's probably like a 80. Yeah, a little like closer to like 80% that I don't have to use it, but it still, kind of helps me push it over the edge. I was checking out Death Stranding actually just last night, and I'm looking at that and I'm feeling like, gosh dang, dude, this looks incredible. And I'm not using like DLSS or FSR, and I'm still getting like almost 200 frames a second on that game. And I'm looking at like the image quality on that, and I'm like, dude, this game looks beautiful. I love PC gaming. It's awesome, but I do think that we are being led astray more and more. And I think that the more they shove like DLSS and FSR and all of this stuff down our throat, frame generation and all this stuff, while they're cool tools, they are. I don't think that they should 100% be like the bread and butter of that platform. I don't. Like Nvidia is taking it way too far with this whole DLSS thing. I mean, I think that these GPUs, honestly, man, if they come out as a 1440p GPU, I think the rate of them being able to run games at 1440p max settings at over 60 frames a second should be above 80%. Should be above 80%. That to me is fair. Obviously, you're going to have like your Crysis 3 and some of your games that are going to come out and they're going to be way strong. But let's face it, man. Let's face it. These GPUs right now are strong enough to push some of the best visuals we've ever seen. And yeah, like it's crazy to me to think that like the PC bros, they used to make fun of us console bros because we were like loving our upscaling and all of that stuff. And now these same dudes that used to make fun of us are 100% like mad when a game launches without DLSS. They are mad. They are get on freaking Steam and review bomb game mad when they don't get DLSS for their games. So, yeah, dude, those same guys that were making fun of us console gamers back in the day, them same dudes are freaking out every time that they don't get DLSS. It's crazy. It's crazy. And, I mean, you can thank, a lot of us, influencers and stuff, man, for taking them free GPUs and then spreading that filth everywhere. I don't know. I mean, like, yes, obviously I've used these techs before, but at the same time, man, is it something that we should really have to rely on and be like, oh yeah, dude, that's the best ever? I don't know. I just find it kind of weird that those same people that used to preach down to us console guys about our systems being garbage, now they're all about that upscaling and that DLSS and that fake resolution and fake frame rates and everything else, man. Yeah, I don't. So I mean, it's kind of easy for me to accept that stuff because I've been a console gamer for a long time. But to see these hardened freaking PC Master Race bros being like, "Yeah, man, we need our DLSS," that's just kind of weird to me. Because they used to make fun of us for it, and they're paying twice as much for their GPUs now as they were before when they were getting their rasterized power and stuff. So, yeah, I don't know, man. To me, it kind of sounds like they got hoodwinked. And they're getting hoodwinked even more. And now they're defending it. That's weird. So, I mean, the moral of this story, today's video, is, yeah, dude, DLSS and FSR, they obviously do what they're supposed to do. You turn them on, you get a little bit more frame rate, and you get to keep your overall image quality. But at the same time, wouldn't it be just a little bit better if your games actually hit the resolution that they're intended to? And a playable frame rate? You know, I mean, I could see having to use like DLSS or FSR if you're using ray tracing, but to use it just for pure rasterized, um, yeah, that's a little bit weird to me that we're having to turn those features on just to get rasterized visuals, man. Like this right here, thankfully this game here runs above 60 FPS at 4K on a 1440p card. Above 60 FPS. We're like 70s, you know, 80 frames or whatever. And it's running that, pushing them pixels at 4K, and this is a 1440p GPU. This was marketed as a 1440p GPU. And to be completely honest with you, most of my Ubisoft games run consistently about this. Most of them run pretty consistent. They all pretty much use the same tech, same visuals, same quality, you know, assets, stuff like that. So yeah, it's kind of easy to. Ooh, I got a skateboard now. This game is so bad. This game is so badass. This game is like one of the greatest, man. This is like SSX Tricky meets there used to be this one downhill game back in a long time ago on PS2. I think it was just called Downhill, or something. But no, now we got to get back on the cannon. See, I got this, but I was using the. I like to go down these more in like first person view, so it gives me that thrill of like riding down, doing downhill mountain biking again. I like to do that, but I picked the wrong bike. I was on my specialized enduro, but now I'm on my Canon. I don't know if I'd ever buy a Canon in real life, but yeah, I wish they had Kona in here. I haven't seen Kona yet. Whoa! But yeah, dude, this is pretty cool, man. I like being able to play these games. I don't like having to worry about like DLSS. I want to be able to crank up my visuals, jump in there, play my dang video game, and be happy with it and be above 60 frames per second. If I want higher frame rates, I want to be able to lower my settings and be able to be able to crank my frame rate a little bit higher. And that just depends on the game. Like if you're playing something like this, max visuals is a must. It is an absolute must, man. There's no playing this game at low settings. Like especially for me. Like you're supposed to be out in the wilderness. I want to be as close to that feeling as possible in a game like this. I don't want to be like I don't want to not have pretty freaking visuals, and I love the way this game looks most of the time. There's some times when I'm just like, ugh, that looks terrible. But yeah, most of the time this is a beautiful, beautiful experience. And it runs so good on my AMD hardware. Look, there's a dirt road down there. We'll just ride down this side of the mountain. Dude, we're so doomed. Whoop! Oh no, we got so much air. Whoop! Oh no, yep, we're dead. We just died. Yep, on that bike. Dude, oh man, I could feel my my stomach going up into my into my into my rib cage on that one. I'm like, oh gosh, that sense of falling, like it gives you that. I'm like, oh my gosh, man. Whew. But yeah, look at this. Look how beautiful this is. Just riding through these canyons and stuff. My goodness. Don't have to use DLSS or FSR or any of that, man. You just get good, clean image quality. Quality. And of course, I'm using virtual super resolution, so I'm going down to 1440p, 4K down to 1440p, still keeping like an 80 FPS. To me, that's incredible. That's incredible. And this game takes a lot of VRAM to run this at these settings. Let me show you real quick. Let me just show you. Look at that. VRAM is at 11172 for max settings. And if you go down here to pixel scale, boom, look at, you can max this out right here, over 16 gigs. So yeah, like, dang, this game here, like I could put it on like 6K probably and still, let me see, let's try that. Let's take this back down to 100% pixel scale. Boom. That's what I love about. That's what I love about Ubisoft, or not Ubisoft, but like this is let's see. So now I'm about 45 frames a second, 6K resolution on a 1440p GPU from my beloved Ubisoft game. So if I was perfectly okay with running this at like 30 frames, like I could run this at 6K, man, and still run it at max visuals. That's incredible. Incredible. I can run this at 6K on my 7900 XT and still get 60. Oh yeah, I thought there was like a walk button. How do I get off my bike? Oh yeah, right there. Got to get up there and get my piece of candy. Man, I spent like a long time just on steep. I would climb the mountains just like this. I was like, yeah, baby. See if I can get over there and get my piece of candy. Normally, you'd probably just want to be on like the jet thing flying through there to get that one. Gosh dang. Yep, we're going to have to. Boom. We'll just fly around for a second. Feels a little bit sluggish when you start going down in frames, but I could kick on AMD's fluid motion frames and straighten this right back out. Actually, let's try that. Let's try that. Turn on. I think there's like a little key command that you can do for that. I mean, yeah, that actually. Now I'm about 80 something frames a second, and it looks smoother than what it just did. Still feels like, 40 frames a second. $6K. That's incredible. Look how beautiful this game is. This is just incredible, man. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I'm not like a PC expert, but I do kind of think that we're getting taken advantage of with this whole. Ooh, look, a piece of candy. Did I even get that? Gotta turn around and see. Look at how beautiful this is. Let's go back to 4K. That's a bit extreme. Wait, were we already at 4K? Whoa. Dang, man, we just got kicked out. We didn't get kicked out. I just don't have no control over what I'm doing. Okay, so let's get back into the game. Oh, it switched it over to my 4K TV. So, all right, my friends, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sorry about the end of that. Playing around with the settings kind of messed everything up for me, but I'll get it fixed. See you guys later.